Hey everybody, good morning. It is wow, like 6:17 here in Los Angeles, and I got up early. And I thought, hey, the Superman trailer's dropping today. I should totally do that as a live stream, just to share what I think about it. So yeah, we're gonna watch it right now. I've got the sound turned off on it, so only I will be able to hear it. That way, they don't demonetize this or. Oop, let me put that down. There we go. So they don't put a copyright strike against it. I'm going to try at least. I haven't done one of these live ones before, so let's give this a shot and see if we can get this to work. Okay, so that is that. I'm going to try to make it bigger as we play and see if this works. All right, shall we? Superman. Let's see, what does theater mode do? There we go. That'll be good. All right, let's try it, shall we? Okay, we are definitely in a definitely up in the Antarctic. He's getting his butt kicked, look like. That's a head of hair. That is absolutely a head of hair. Oh, he's not having a good day, is he? A little more realistic house. Okay, that's awesome. Nice. Oh, we got our Justice League or whatever they're going to call them in this. Huh. Metamorpho? I'm supposed to be talking to this more, but I'm not. Okay, there's some really cool shots in there. Let's back it up. Okay, let's start it over. And okay, so we're definitely in Antarctica here, or wherever his Fortress of Solitude is. But yeah, I wonder what it is the powerful force he's going to be going up against because we know Lex. I'm not sure about the hair on that. That's okay. I know James Gunn loves pets and stuff, and yeah, I've got a place in my heart for dogs too. So that's kind of cool. I'm loving that Crypto's going to be in it. That right there, I love that shot. See, that's those dynamic moments I like. So they actually went for the full-on bowl cut. I'm going to back it up there. That full-on bowl cut from for Guy Gardner, Nathan Fillion. You know, I get that he has that in the comics, but that's a really bad look. They could have done without that. They could have. Just saying. Hawk Girl looks cool. What's that? What is that? That's going to be interesting. There are definitely some big, because you can just see Superman right there, that tiny little Superman right there. All right, so I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be Metamorpho. If I can get and lock in on him. Let's see if we can get him. Yeah, that looks like Metamorpho. You can see the purple on the left shoulder. That looks cool. That looks cool. Okay, that's going again. All right, so wow, that was interesting. Morning, Sergeant. Hey, Clay, how you doing? Do I think Scarlett Johansson should play Catwoman in James Gunn's DC Cinematic Universe? Um, wow, good question. I think Scarlett may. I'll be interested if we get to Catwoman because I kind of think that when they use Batman, it's going to be kind of different than they do with the stuff they're doing with the Matt Reeves stuff. So Scarlett would be an interesting choice for Catwoman, though. It really depends on who the Batman is, what age group they're going for, because you want Catwoman and Batman to be kind of around the same age, or at least within a couple years. So, but she'd be an interesting choice. But there's some really good actresses out there too that could work for it. Um, all right. So thoughts on the Superman trailer? I don't know if I like them starting with him getting his butt kicked because I kind of feel like we're being introduced to a new Superman. And do we want to show him defeated in a way? Um, it just seems like a weird place to start. I like a lot of the stuff in that trailer. I like the introduction of Crypto. I like a couple of the dramatic moments, him punching the glass to get out of the cage, him saving the girl, the moment with his dad. Those are nice beats to have. So, hey, Triple B. Who do you think should play Slade, Deathstroke, in James Gunn's DC universe? Robert Downey Jr. or Keanu Reeves? Clay, I think those are some good ideas, but I think if we get to Deathstroke, which we will, but you know who I think would be an interesting Slade is Ethan Peck. So I think he's got an interesting look to him and can play intense. Anyway, so I like a lot of the stuff. I think the Hawk Girl flying thing looked good. Uh, Guy Gardner, man, that bowl cut. Not a fan of the bowl cut. Just like I said, I get that comics, they're trying to be as accurate to the comics as possible. But when two of the things that stand out about a trailer is how bad Nathan Fillion's hair is and how bad Clark Kent's hair is, that not a good thing. But I want to love this trailer. I do. I really want to love this trailer because I want this to be a great movie. I want this to be the launch of a huge cinematic universe because I want superhero movies and comic book movies to do amazing. I want them to be successful and just roll out and just keep going. And, and I don't have a horse in the race when it comes to Zack Snyder and James Gunn and stuff like that. I just want good movies. I want movies that I want to go see, and I want to buy the DVD or the Blu-ray copy of and stuff like that. And I'm getting that from Marvel in most cases. I like the Marvel movies. I want DC to be that way too. Do I think it's going to be a good movie? Yes. I think it has some great dramatic beats in the trailer. I think it looks good. I think the fact that we got to see Green Lantern and Hawkgirl and a Eclipse of Metamorpho, and we got to see a couple shots of Lex Luthor and Lois Lane. It does all the things it needs to do. It has the emotional beat to it. So I look forward to seeing what this movie ends up being. I think we'll get another trailer probably around the Super Bowl that may give us a little more of the story because there was a lot of things in there that I don't know. There's that large creature that he was facing that was breathing fire or whatever it is. There's that floating ball in the sky. There's whatever character is racing against him on the football field. And I'm not quite sure what characters they are. And are we going to see kind of a montage of villains that he goes up against? Maybe that's what that is. Maybe Lex Luthor's the big bad, but we have these little scenes that show him kind of fitting in around the world. I don't know. There's not enough there for me to get an idea of what the story is going to be. And it's a teaser trailer. So, Hey, Jim, good morning. What did you think, Jim? Did you like it? Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, Brainiac, Hawkgirl, Lex, and Crypto. Yeah, those are all the things you want to see in this because those are all going to be, that's the stuff that really looks good in the movie. Clay says, do you think Darkseid would have been the Thanos of the previous DC cinematic universe if it wasn't canceled? I know that's what they were going. They were definitely going that direction. So, morning, Ed. Hey, Sean. Okay, coming over from our live reaction. Yeah, I did a live reaction too. I don't know if it's going to stay up on very often, but we'll see. Jim really liked it. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, like I said, I just don't know about starting off with him being beaten. I mean, I like the fact that we're not spending all the time just hinting at him and stuff. It's like, boom, we got him in costume. There he is right there on the snow. But it does have such a good vibe. And I'm probably going to watch it again once or twice without feel like, being on camera. But Chef says, I literally felt inspired just by listening to this new rendition of the 70s. Yeah, the music is very cool. It does have a great vibe. Just got done with ours, had to come see yours. Oh, thank you, Jay. Sean says, I only have one critique. I didn't like Guy Gardner's looks terrible. Mr. Terrific looked amazing. They did him justice with those few seconds he was shown. Yeah, I think Guy Gardner is supposed to look as close to the comic version as possible. But I also think that it is James Gunn trying to make Nathan Fillion look bad because they're friends and he's trying to mess with him. So, yeah. Chef Mike is right. It is definitely supposed to be goofy looking. That's the thing with Guy Gardner is we got one quick shot of him, so we'll have to see how it plays out. But the uniforms are interesting. I don't know what team they're supposed to be because Gunn has said that they're not the Justice League at this point. There is no Justice League. So I'm thinking maybe they're the Terrifics since they all seem to have matching costume to Mr. Terrific. Something like that. We'll have to see. So, wow. We got 12 people watching the video, and it is way early here in Los Angeles. It's 6:30. Maybe I'm doing my show too late in the afternoon. Maybe I should be doing a morning show. Yeah. It's drive time with Dan here talking pop culture and comics. Clark looked like he was wearing a curly wig. Yeah, I'm going to have to get used to that. But I'll tell you, the first time we see him as Clark, the wig stood out or the hair stood out to me. But each time we saw him as Clark afterwards, it didn't. So maybe the Guy Gardner thing will be the same. We just have to get used to the look, and then we got it. Clay, do you think Haley Steinfeld should play Batgirl in James Gunn's? Then, Clay, I don't know how much. I mean, I know that Gunn is going to probably pick some people from his past because that's what James Gunn does. He Nathan Fillion and the guy who's playing Pa Kent and stuff like that. Michael Rooker is probably going to be somewhere in the movie, but I don't know if he's just going to go through and pull everybody from the MCU because he's still friends with everybody over there. So let's see what I'm thinking. Chef Mike says, or the JL just might be working for Luthor Corp. That's why they're wearing the white suits. That's a possibility. That is. They could actually be Luthor's team. Jim says, I think it was smart to show him at his worst right off the bat. It tells the viewer that it's not a comedy and that there are stakes here for him. Then Gunn brings in Crypto, and that's for other types of viewers. Yeah, true. The ones that went a lighter tone, it was a very well-crafted, balanced teaser. It really makes me happy that you like this, Jim, because I know that a lot of the previous DC stuff wasn't your cup of tea, so for you to, and I know you didn't like the Batman, so it's pretty cool that you like this one. I'm glad because I know that's also kind of the I think you're the kind of the target audience that Gunn is specifically going for. So that's very cool. Maybe Clark woke up late. I've been known to have crazy. Yeah, you can have bedhead. Michael Rooker will be the voice of the dragon like Smaug. Maybe Michael Rooker will be the voice of Crypto. He'll just go bark, I appreciate that. Yes, it brings me back to DC films. Yeah, I'm glad about that because I saw something the other day that simply said, you can like and hope for DC to do well and still like the MCU. And you can like the MCU and hope it does well and still like DC. It's not an and or. It's not an or. It's a you can do and. So Jay says, I think they work for Lord Tech at first, but find out they've been working for Lex. That's a good possibility because Sean Gunn is going to be playing Maxwell Lord. So I was thinking about this the other day. Sean Gunn is playing Weasel and he's playing G.I. Robot and he's playing Maxwell Lord, but I don't know if Weasel and G.I. Robot are going to make it out alive with Creature Commandos. So maybe it won't be a conflict. Sean says no one thinks they're part of Lord Tech because it's a good possibility. Ed says, I had zero expectations for the trailer, and it gave me the chills, which surprised me. So I think it's a great trailer. Excellent. See, that my reaction is just mine, but I want to see positive reactions. I'm a little different. I'm from coming from the point of view of a writer, I think of story beats and I think of presentation. I think of all the things that you think of as a writer, but how are just people who are going to put their money down and buy and go see the movie and stuff, how are they reacting? And that I'm loving to see those positive reactions. Hopefully they'll continue. Clay says, do you think that Justin Timberlake should play Nightwing? No. I think Nightwing needs to be somebody physical and be able to do a lot of the stunts. I think I think Nightwing is one of the few characters that you really want to have somebody. In a way, it's kind of like Tom Holland. How during his audition, he actually did a flip into the scene or out of the scene or whatever it was. And it's like that's you want a character, an actor with that kind of physicality to play Nightwing, just because that's part of the embodiment of him. Batman needs to be kind of a brute or a bully in a sense, but Nightwing needs to be graceful and acrobatic. So that's just my opinion. Chef Mike says, it's crazy because I just purchased the Mezco Christopher Reeve Superman from eBay, and then boom, the trailer dropped a few hours later. Oh, very cool. I'm so tired of DC being so dark. Hopefully DC goes back to hope. I don't think you need to hope. I don't think you need to be hopeful about that, because I think they are. I mean, that's what this trailer tells me. But the neat thing is that you have the Beck, or whatever they call it, the Batman Epic Crime Saga, if you want the darker thing. And Batman should be darker. The tone of Batman should be darker. And now you have Superman. If you want lighter, you want a little more adult, you got Creature Commandos and Peacemaker. So I like that fact that they're kind of mixing it around a bit. So Jim says, hands down, best shot is him saving the little girl. Absolutely. That's the one that gave me chills. That's the one I went, oh, yeah, there we go. That's Superman. That's what I needed to see more than anything. Yep. For me, it's that and him punching out of the glass cage or whatever he's in, and then him sitting with Pa Kent. Those were the beats that I went, yeah. Or flying with Lois. Those are the things. So if you went through a checklist, if I need to see this, 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 and this, but the other thing, and no one's mentioned this yet, and Jim, it comes back to showing that he can be hurt, showing at his worst. That's what we needed. Superman Returns was basically Superman versus a mountain, was Superman versus a real estate scam. And that's what the Christopher Reeve Supermans were too. There really wasn't anybody on the power level to physically challenge him. But that's what we're seeing in this trailer, is that Superman is going to have issues with people. He's going to be in fights and stuff. I mean, he's going to actually physically be matched, whoever he's fighting in the scenes. So I like that a lot. I like that there's, a confrontation. Even when Superman showed up in the Justice League with Henry Cavill, he toyed with Steppenwolf. I don't know, other than Doomsday, it didn't feel like he was really, well, they did pretty good with Zod too. So I'll backtrack on that. At least that it was a good thing with the Zack Snyder stuff was that he felt like he was actually in danger. But previous Superman incarnations, they just seem so powerful, and they don't really give him a villain to match him. It's kind of like the Ang Lee Hulk, and he went up against a lightning monster. I mean, there was, at least with Marvel, they put him against the Abomination, and you can kind of feel that power level. I mean, Marvel does that where they tend to give the hero a villain that matches them on the power level, so that there seems to be some kind of physical threat. And we're getting that with the Superman trailer, so I like that a lot. They were supposedly casting Stephen R. McQueen as Nightwing in the Arrowverse, but that never panned out. Yeah, the whole Arrowverse thing, as much as I love the Arrowverse, I don't think they were ever going to get around to really giving us Batman and Nightwing, and I don't know why. The trailer gave me everything I asked for. The music, a small save, and flying. There you go. Chef Mike says, I love Zack Snyder's movies to death, but there was no reason to make your whole DC film universe besides Wonder Woman completely dark and depressing. Now, see, I agree. I absolutely agree with that. But then they course corrected so badly, you know. I mean, you go from Wonder Woman to Wonder Woman 1984, and Wonder Woman 1984 was so bad. So, hey, but while we're talking, please hit the thumbs up for me or the like button if you can, and subscribe. I'm going to be doing more and more videos like this, so please do that, and it'll pop up when you're ready, when that's happening. Do you think Camila Cabello should play Starfire? I don't know who Camila Cabello is. I'm guessing she's a wrestler for some reason, but I think I'm going to hold off casting other casting ideas until they move it. Like if you want a Clayface, I'm going to be doing an entire show today on Clayface at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 o'clock Eastern on The Experience. Going to do a deep dive into Clayface, talk about all the 8 different characters who have been Clayface, stuff like that. So, and we'll talk about casting and stuff then. But yeah, that I don't know Caballo. So, Chef Mike, Camila has been hated by the Latino community for some years now because of her colorism comments. So no, that wouldn't work. Okay. Ed says Shazam was the only one that was fun. Very disappointed. Oh, fun is good. Superman Returns 2.0, only some more cheesy, very disappointed. Oh, Quantum didn't like it. Okay. Yeah. There was some good stuff in Superman Returns, but I really didn't feel there was a decent threat. I in a lot of ways, I thought Kevin Spacey was just playing Gene Hackman. And I know this is going to be maybe a sacrilegious take, but Christopher Reeves was great as Superman, but it's not that great a movie, because there's no real threat. It's a good origin story, but he doesn't go up against anything that really matches him. And, we didn't get that to like Quest for Peace, and we don't talk about Quest for Peace, Gene Hackman didn't play Lex Luthor from the comics. He played a megalomaniac real estate scammer, and that's what Kevin Spacey played as well. For me, the good Lex Luthors are Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville. John Cryer's character from the Arrowverse was kind of cool. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what Nicholas Hoult does, because I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to make him more of a threat. I did an entire video about how Lex Luthor has a narcissistic personality disorder, and he hates Superman, not because he really thinks he's bad for the planet or whatever. He hates Superman because he casts a shadow over Lex, and Lex needs to be loved. Lex needs to be honored, and he needs to be the center of attention. It needs to be about him. That's why he's a philanthropist. That's why he does all these things on the outside. It's the opinion of people. And when Superman comes along, it puts him in the shadow, and he doesn't like it. And that's part of what drives Lex. Let's see. She's a singer. Okay. Yeah, don't know her. Jim says Clayface is a prominent character in John Jackson Miller's new Batman 89 novel, Resurrection. Oh, interesting. I haven't read that one. I'll have to see if that's on audio. Huh. Sean says Tanner Buchanan could make for a good Nightwing. Yeah. Superman 2 was excellent. I didn't really care for any of the other ones Reeves did, but I still love Superman 2, and there was a real threat to Superman. True. Zod and yeah, the other Kryptonians. True. I'll give you that. Clay says, "Do you think Justin Bieber should play?" I don't think Justin Bieber should. Until I see him acting, I'm not going to cast him in anything. Do you think Chris Hemsworth should play Aquaman? It's not bad, but it feels like just similar to Thor. Jay says July is going to be a great month for superhero fans. Yeah, with Superman and then Fantastic Four. And what's neat is it's the start of Marvel and the start of DC. DC started with Superman. Marvel started with the Fantastic Four. And yes, you can go back and talk about Submariner and Human Torch and Captain America. But the Marvel comics that we know and we think of, the Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko, John Romita Sr., those guys, that universe is started in 1962 with the Fantastic Four. So it's finally, I want a good Fantastic Four movie. I like the cast. I like the idea that they're going to go through multiple villains, and it looks like that's what they're doing here as well. So Patrick Wilson should have been Aquaman, just my opinion. Interesting. Justin Bieber should be the Crypto's voice. Sean agrees Patrick Wilson needs to be Aquaman. Dude looked more like Aquaman than Aquaman did in the Snyderverse. But Momoa was fun. Momoa brought a different type of energy. And I feel that he was similar to the Peter David version of the character, which is kind of where they were going. I always wanted to do, when they were doing Earth One for DC and they were doing Batman Earth One stuff, I was trying to talk an artist that worked with DC into doing a pitch with me. And then he got picked up for a huge project and it never happened. But I wanted to pitch doing Aquaman as kind of, do you guys remember the HBO series Rome with Ray Stevenson and stuff? And yeah, I wanted to do an Aquaman like that. I wanted to do an Aquaman that was kind of like a story of a Roman Empire and the upcoming Caesar and stuff like that. I wanted to do it from that point of view, very political, very just classic is kind of how I wanted to approach it, but never got to actually pitch it. So it's funny seeing Reacher as Aquaman because I saw Reacher first. Yeah, Alan Richardson should be Batman. Yeah, it's funny. Also, if you guys haven't seen it, there's an Aquaman pilot out there that has the guy that played Green Arrow on Smallville did that. Justin Hartley, I think it is. Tracker as Aquaman, which was kind of interesting. So, if they're going to do Aquaman, I want them to take it seriously. Momoa is fun and I enjoyed that, but I don't want it to go so far comical that we're almost like the Brave and the Bold version with him going outrageous. I don't want that. So, Justin Hartley, yeah. It comes on one of the Smallville seasons. Oh, okay. There's also a Wonder Woman pilot out there with Adrian Palicki. I've seen that with Pedro Pascal plays the cop, which is hilarious because then later he plays, was it Maxwell Lord? Yeah, he does play Maxwell Lord in Wonder Woman 1984. So, agreed, Sean. He looks like Capullo's Batman. Wow, it's funny because Alan Richardson, not only did he play Aquaman on Smallville, and then he played Hawk in the Titan series, and then now he's playing Reacher. The key, though, is I think you need someone who's It depends on what he looks like standing next to David Corenswet. If you're going to put them in the same universe, Batman can't tower over Superman. They can be close, but they can't tower. So I don't know how. I think David Cornsweet may actually be taller than Richardson. I know in the he's supposed to be like 6'5". He's supposed to be this giant, but I think in real life Richardson's only like 6'2", and I think Cornsweet's 6'3". So Lantern's already cast. Yeah. I think that's interesting casting for the Lanterns. I think Aaron Pierre is a good choice for John Stewart. Kyle Chandler, I don't know if I like the idea of Howell being so much older, but I like him as an actor and I like his look. So it'd be interesting to see how they're going to handle it. The fact that they're doing a Middle America murder mystery with them seems kind of weird, but let's see what they do. Yeah. Sorry. Jay says Aaron Pierre has already been cast and he looks straight out of Justice League cartoons. He does. I think Aaron Pierre is going to be perfect. So, all right, guys. This has gone on a little bit longer than I expected, but you guys have been here and hanging out, so that's cool. Oh, yeah. Cornsweet 6'4" and Richardson 6'3". I just looked. They're both so short, you know? Anyway. All right, guys. I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Again, I will be back on The Experience this afternoon at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. We're going to talk about the latest news, and I'll give my thoughts again on that, on the trailer, but also we'll be talking about Clayface. I have, again, the whole history of Clayface. So you guys want to know all about him, all the different versions and stuff, tune in then. See you then, Ed. Good to see you. Short compared to Dan. Yeah. All right, guys. So have a great one. Have a great morning, and we'll see you this afternoon. Take care, everybody.